Hi guys, good evening. It's Natalie Zangon. I'm in the gazebo in front of our home, doing another audio. So tonight's audio, I wanted to dedicate it in the request and the prayer of complete health for my grandmother, Esther Senobar. She's in the hospital and she needs a lot of tefillot and prayers, Bezrat Hashem, with God's help. Um, so when I feel down and I wonder about things and I don't know how to figure it out, I try not to be in a black space, in a black hole, meaning do nothing, because that just brings me down more. So I try to be proactive, whether it's doing an extra act of good deed, whether it's reaching out to someone, whether it's recording audios. I try to process besides having my time at the right place to sit and cry and talk to God. I also try to channel it to release the energy that's within me because it could be very destructive. Like my husband always says, the Torah teaches us anything that you leave empty, scorpion and rats can come in. So you never want to leave a space empty. You could be in a mindful place, you could be in a good place, but you should never leave things empty without knowing what to do with it. So I believe that it's very wrong to lie to kids. I'm very honest with my children according to their age and developmental stage and mental state. I answer their questions to the best that I can based on what they can tolerate and take in. Because I'm a child of parents that lied to me. Particularly, my mom was a very bubble wrapping kind of mother that tried to take everything on herself and not to let me know because I was a very emotional child and I am as an adult. I cry, I feel, I get angry, I get sad, I have all the feelings, thank God. So she tried to prevent me from being exposed to it, thinking as if I'm never going to know. So what would happen was an incident would happen, and I would find 2, 3 months later when everyone had already processed it, and I'm like, but don't you? But, and everyone was already done with it. So it was like really, really bad feeling. And I witnessed my grandfather, which I didn't even remember. It was like in my subconscious that when I was 4 years old, I went into the funeral home because he lived with us, and I witnessed when he had passed away. And my mother, when I asked her why isn't he responding, she had said to me, he's sleeping. And this statement haunted me till adult life until I went to therapy and I realized why I was so afraid to sleep because she told me he's sleeping and the next day he was gone and I never saw him again. So in therapy, when I was speaking to my therapist, I'm like, I'm never going to lie to my kids. So I try to be very honest, whether it's our pets or whatever happens in the house or about sickness, according to appropriately to their age and emotional maturity. I try to give a very valid answer that they can comprehend. We speak about birth, we speak about death as a natural cycle of life. We speak about sickness. When they ask why blue people's hair go white, is because they age. So does that mean when your hair is white you're going to die? Not necessarily. But are you going to die? Well, unless Mashiach comes, that's a natural cycle of life. What's going to happen to you when you die? Well, I'm going to go back. Or more, it's like, what do you think is going to happen? And then it's more like, I'm going to go back to where I was before I came here. I wasn't always here, right? There was always a place where I was as my soul. And then God decided to send me down to my parents. And then whenever He thinks my mission is done, it should never be at the wrong time. It should be at the right time and full life. So I try to be very honest with my kids. And I think the society that we live in bubble wraps too many things, creating very self centered, vicious, and defiant children because they don't feel, they don't have that empathy. I visited my grandma at the Jewish home for the aging with my children from the time they were in a car seat until they got older. And then thank God she came out and she was living with our family. And now she's at a hospital. She had a tragic situation that took place. Now is July, what's the date today? July 21st. It's Wednesday. The incident took place on Monday, and we're praying to God with full heart that she should have complete healing. that Hashem should bless her with complete healing, refuah shlema, and Hashem should have rachamim on her and have mercy on her. She's a walking blessing machine. Like I tell you, no wrong words come out of her mouth. I never heard her gossip, say lashon hara. All she would do is bless Jews, non-Jews, anybody she would see. She would give food to people on the street. She's always full of givingness and kindness and goodness. So my 5-year-old really wanted to come see her, but like right now she's like getting extra support for different parts of her body. And the physician is like, he went and told the physician when we went to go to the hospital that I want to see my great grandma. And the physician is like, how did you even get up here? And he said, well, I took the elevator. And he's like, well, you're not allowed to be here. You're too young to be here, and they don't let you go in. So then he convinced one of my cousins to FaceTime us so he could say a prayer for her. And I'm always, like I said, very honest with my kids. When they ask me questions, we talk about it. We talk about different things sometimes people need to have in their life. And I honestly believe that creating empathy in our children from a young age, seeing their grandparents as they age, seeing the parents as they age, creating that love and affection, story time, creating that bond is essential. And I'm so lucky that I was able to live with both of my grandparents. They lived with us, and having grandparents and parents as part of our life was something I knew from the beginning. I never lived with my parents alone. I either was living with my father's mom, and then when we moved to America, we were living with my mother's mom. So we always had that family bonding, which has was been a very beautiful experience because I got so close with her. So I really pray to Hashem. Tu B'Av is coming tomorrow night. That Ribono Shel Olam, Master of the Universe, please, please have rachamim, have mercy on my grandmother, Esther Bat Senobar, and all the sick people. Bless them with healing. Bless them with full, complete refuah shlema, to ability to be able to stand and daven and spread your Torah and your mitzvot and say brachot and create malachim the way that they're supposed to. Life is all about choices and what we make out of it. And one of the biggest lessons my grandma always teaches me is that life is all about perception. Don't sweat the small stuff. Be grateful for other things. She used to come and sit in my gazebo and say, this feels like we're on a vacation. This leaf, this, that. Always she would make a glory out of what is. And that's the kind of character we need to teach our children. Having gratitude for what you have instead of sweating about what you don't have. That is the bracha of life. And I hope to God that Hashem should bring her complete healing. Esther Bat Senobar. Thank you so much for watching. We're doing a 40-day marathon to say the bracha of Asher Yatzar after you use the restroom in her merit from today until September 8th for her complete healing, because that is the wonders of how our body works. Thank you so much for watching.